BOS on the track.
I can helicopter police. Power up your colon in the back of Papa Caprice. I'm a hog in the beast, when it's time to vlog, I release like a walking dog on a leash. A frog when I log at the beach. Pause when I jog to the east, picking up fog from cheeks. Blowing smoke with the priest, I sleep for all with the least. My nigga, you know that I'm awesome still. These other rappers pop pills like a moxicil. While I'm eating chicken fettuccine pasta meals. Cause everything I do huge like a roster kill. Ill. Trick I on Hotel Rwanda. And Sean Diddy Combs is my auntie Yolanda. I'm all about my commas and drama. Come out the llama and beat it. Hannah Palmer, Geronimo, Proud Obama. I am Madonna, Chandelier, me Walt Disney, Martin Louis, the Dream, Steve Jobs, Bobby and Whitney. Praise issue, I lie the king, how high is he? False literatures, the history's dead pygmies. Truth is my mama and her mama had a baby. Now they in trouble cause somebody gotta pay me. Up to my chin and they rebel, that's why they calling me crazy. I got a friend who I love, I married her and that's my lady. Ma, don't be mad trying to feel me, I know your secrets. For me, I'ma laugh, do we last cause I can't believe this. Ain't nobody thinking about me, they been raping and pimping on my entire family. I'm about to set up as John F. Kennedy getting loose. Cause I see Tommy Chow, but we can't find sheets. Yes, I still hit the bone, though it's wrong, I'm a beast. I get ill, yet I'm strong, cause inside lies the beast. I ain't sorry, ain't got a peep out on your neurology. Everybody proud of me, Satan can't find a way to swallow me. My demons follow me, Illuminati trying to bottle me. Stop trying to holler me and get the people who they wanna see. They calling me the new millennium, rock king. Times pop, better than Jigga. Word, my type of nigga. It's obviously safe to say I'm the pick of the litter. My abominable family trying to make me a critter. Everybody wanna rape my nerves, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers, none of you make me nervous. If you hire me, I do my job and do it perfect. I ain't tripping on none of these bitches because I'm worth it. Yeah, trip. The helicopter come with security, holding choppers, land, hop off the plane, get inside the mouth with you blocker. When you speak up on my name, I just pray that you do it proper. Best lyricist in the game, probably right next to Biggie Papa. Look at you and look at me, little nigga. You what it do, I'm what it be, little nigga. Till my shoe from my knee, little nigga. I'll air out all your loved ones I see, little nigga. Nah, I ain't fucking with you till I think you get the picture. Spending grands on bitches and a million on switches. Ain't shit sweet. Everybody thinking like delicious. Making ends meet fighting, trying to make it out the trenches. Assalamu alaikum, thank God for the fix. Plotting real big play, gotta watch for the snakes. Driving, waking up late, drip, sweat with my heart throbbing. New Batman, made back, tripping, thread mobbing. This young man, he play 10, probably end up fucking up Beyonce friends. Fuck 'em so good, they gon' have to make it a trend. Fucking on the golf course and fucking in the band. Me, I go like me, highs grow. Ain't a nigga in the globe that can be my host. Get a nigga to the bone, make it be my role. Chris Rock, Gusto, bitch, CB4. Sick of all the bullshit, put me on the pulpit. Get up on your ass, hit you hard like a mule kick. Peanut butter outside, inside, cool with. Way more talent than you niggas know what you do with.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? It's no good. Everybody is doing well. It is Saturday. Sound. Right. Moderation and all of that. Looks like things is in order. Hope everybody is doing well. It's Saturday. It's Cerebro Saturday. So We got some things going on over here. Shout out to everybody that is pulling in and checking in, and everybody that is going to be coming in fashionably tardy. We appreciate y'all. How's everybody doing? Let's get things in order over here. See what's going on. Let's see. Let's keep that there. How's everybody doing? Shout out to Rumble that is checking in today and YouTube. Shout out to everybody pulling in and checking in on those platforms. Make sure y'all get y'all comments in, hit the like button, subscribe over on Rumble. If you are on YouTube, you guys can kind of flip flop and crisscross. Come on over to YouTube and hit that like button, and go on over to Rumble and hit that like button. I see Green Beans is pulling in. Shout out to everybody that's taking the time to be in here today. We're going to have a little fun today. Y'all gonna be entertained today. Sis is in the building. Red lipstick vibes, where the vibe is always positive. A my sister, Petty Red. Shout out to you, sis. Hope you're doing well. I see Cuteness is in the building. Mrs. SheSaiD is in the building. What up, Cuteness? Hope all is well. Hope you're doing good. I see the chat over on Rumble is up and running. So everybody that's over there, we say good afternoon and salute to the chat. And we also say hit that like button. Follow us over there. We will follow you back. We are new to Rumble, but we up and running and everything is running smooth. So we decided we gonna get cerebral with it on Saturday. Man, y'all know how we get down. Get ready to get to it. Y'all see the title? Did y'all see the thumbnail or the title? I would love to know. My guy is in the building. Ricky Williams is in the building. Brother Ricky, I believe you've seen your name. I tagged you because I'm going to be taking a look at a question that surfaced this past week. Interesting, sparked a thought in my mind, sparked a conversation that I wanted to bring, and blame it on Ricky. Everybody blame it on Ricky. There's a question. There is a question at hand, and I want to know if you guys got an answer for it. Let's take a look.
I only have one question.
Here I come. Here I come.
There was no pussy to get. Could pussy be got?
My nigga.
It's that simple. That simple. Shout out to brother gracing us with that question. We got a nice video. It's about 5 minutes long. We're going to get to it a little bit later, but y'all answer that question. If it was no poom poom to get, nah, poom poom nowhere, you don't know. Shout out to all the fellas that remember the great pussy drought of 79.
Damn, son, crazy. Where'd you find this?
Couldn't find no pussy nowhere. Shout out to y'all. But we going to talk about it. If it was no pussy to get, could pussy be got? Let me know. Put it in the comments. Thought it was an interesting question. But until then, y'all know we going to have a nice conversation. So shout out to everybody that is pulling in and checking in. But if you've seen the thumbnail, it said, I am Legend 2. It's subjective. No Poosie. It's subjective. A lot of things have been subjective recently. And being a man of 50 years, being 50 years old, I've never heard conversations be so subjective as they are in 2024. And again, being a grown adult, I understand that some things are subjective. Some things come with a level of subjectivity. But the way we use it now,
Oh my God!
we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. I want to do something. I want to ask you guys a question. And the question is, dig discipline. Is that something that is possible? Is it something that is expected? Or is it something different? Again, shout out to my brother. Had an amazing conversation with an amazing group of fellas. And I was able to sit down and get a whiff of it. And it brought up some really good questions. My brother said it's a simple question. Understandable, Rick. Understandable. Y'all see what he said? It's a simple question. It is a simple question. But the next one is about discipline. Is that something that is to be expected? Y'all let me know. Until then, see the ladies are coming in with, materials. So let's go ahead.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
CB got.
My nigga.
Why y'all taking so long to answer? Why y'all taking so long to answer, though? Question at hand? Let me see what's going on in the chat. Let me see what is going on in the chat. He said it's a simple question. Nightbot is on the job. He is present. Don't dock me. I'm working. Shout out to Nightbot. Gave y'all some time to think about it. That was an amazing conversation that you were having with those fellas, Rick. Amazing conversation. But again, it just, sent me down this rabbit hole like, damn, everything is so subjective. Everybody feel like they fallen into a trap when somebody asks them a simple question. Simple question, which requires a simple answer. We can continue the course of action. No. No. What y'all think?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
I only have one question.
Here I come. Here I come.
There was no pussy to get. Could pussy. There was no pussy to get. Could pussy be got?
If there was no pussy to get, could pussy be gotten?
Yes.
Is this one of those trick questions where you're asking, like, can I make a Fifi or some shit?
No.
Okay.
Is it a trick question?
He rolled for that, baby.
Is it a trick question?
Something is wrong here.
Is it a trick question? Damn. They were scared to answer. Lord have mercy. Yes, no, maybe, something. Damn. Everybody is politically correct for no good goddamn reason at that shit crazy. Is it a trick question, Rick? Let's see.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
I only have one question.
Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
There was no pussy to get. Could pussy be got?
My nigga.
There was no pussy to get. Could pussy be got?
If there was no pussy to get, could pussy be gotten?
Yes.
Is this one of those trick questions where you're asking, like, can I make a Fifi or some shit?
No.
Okay.
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand. Wax on, wax off.
There was no pussy to get. Could pussy be got?
Is the last little nigga told you we talk too long and you gotta watch the triggers. You kept it real short and sweet that time. That was real short for their attention spans. Cause you know, y'all so long-winded, y'all talking them parables and shit. All right, let's condense it. This is why I just I can't. Oh. What? Rick.
If there was no pussy to get, could pussy be gotten?
Yes.
Is this one of those trick questions where you're asking, like, can I make a Fifi or some shit?
No.
Okay.
If there was no pussy to be gotten, would there? If there was no pussy to get, could pussy be got?
If there's no water to drink, would you have something to drink? No.
Do more nigga shit. Do more nigga shit. Do more nigga shit. Yeah. Let's
Water? If there was no water? What? Water? Heart rate. Bless your motherfucking heart.
bring the niggas in. Let's bring the niggas in.
There was no pussy to get. Could pussy be got?
If there was no pussy to get, could pussy be gotten?
Yes.
Is this one of those trick questions where you're asking, like, can I make a fifi or some shit?
No. I'm
Okay.
asking, if there was no pussy to be got, would there? If there was no pussy to get, could pussy be got?
If there's no water to drink, would you have something to drink? No.
Yeah. If I'm answering honestly and like straight off what you're saying, yes, you can still get it.
How?
By force.
Yo. Shit. Wow. Son. Whew. My nigga. Wow. Really though, like, shit. Fuck. Shit is, wow. Fucking unbelievable.
Ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
There was no pussy to get. Could pussy be got?
If there was no pussy to get, could pussy be gotten?
Yes.
What he said? He said he gonna take it. It ain't even not. He gonna. How he gonna?
Is this one of those trick questions where you're asking, like, can I make a fifi or some shit?
No.
Okay.
I'm asking, if there was no pussy to be got, would there? If there was no pussy to get, could pussy be got?
If there's no water to drink, would you have something to drink? No.
Yeah. If I'm answering honestly and like straight off what you're saying, yes, you can still get it.
How?
By force.
Right.
I'm a survivor living in New York City. I will be at the South Street Seaport every day at midday when the sun is highest in the sky. If you are out there, if anyone is out there, anybody, please, you are not alone.
Yo, Rick, bless your heart, man. Bless your heart, man. How he gonna take some pussy that don't exist? He gonna take non-exist. It's no pussy to get, sir. And this is what I, was thinking about in the title where I said it's subjective. Everything is so subjective that people think you're like trying to trick them just in having a conversation. Ricky wasn't even finished with his conversation. He was trying to walk them through something. He was trying to walk something down. But they were so busy thinking that he was up to something or posing a question that had no answer. And again, I wonder where they get that from. Mrs. Harris said, the fuck? You've been tricked, but it's not a trick question. They so used to being manipulated in conversation, Rick. This is why I type in the chat, Stockholm syndrome is real. Because when your captive get a hold of you, or spitting them ideologies, like it depends, and everything is subjective, and y'all making excuses. Y'all are making an excuse for the conversation not to go in the proper context, direction. That shit is a ploy. Sis said triggers. Yeah. Uncle Rick was told you gotta watch the triggers 2 weeks ago. So he shortened it up nice and sweet. He said he gonna take pussy that's not around. It's not even around. It's no pussy to get. Zero pussy to get. You could still get some? Yeah. How you gonna get it? By force. What? I talk too much, or I talk too little, or I talk too strong, or I talk too weak, or I'm old. You old? Me? Old. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. But I digress. Mrs. is laughing. The Mrs. is laughing at him. What? Mrs. laughing. Shout out to Red Lipstick Vibes. The vibe is always positive, and you can always go there to get a word of inspiration.
I'm not gonna be confrontational with you. I'm gonna politely vacate the premises. Let the clown have the circus. Oh, in a room full of clowns, man, I can't be part of the circus, man. When you entertain a clown, you become part of the circus.
Heard that,
Gone.
brother.
You can do that, man. I go play with my children.
What brought?
Shout out to Red Lipstick Vibes. Shout out to my sister. Hope all is well, sis. But y'all see what I'm talking about today. If it was no puss, would there be any puss to get? You guys were kind of slow to answer in the chat. But the answer is no. No, you wouldn't be able to get any. And then, like I said, my brother can continue to walk it down from there. He was having a great conversation about dick discipline. And is it, required? Is it mandatory? Is it expected? Is it realistic? And again, that just, started me to thinking that it's something that I've always had in my mind, but again, it was subjective. I had my own definition for it. Like I thought all gentlemen, once you cross the threshold into being a gentleman, if you're going to be a lowlife or a scallywag or a gangster or something different, I'm not sure what the requirements for that was. But for a gentleman, there was a certain discipline that was exercised and exhibited well-roundedly. And in the area of sex, it was one as well. But it wasn't about not sleeping with anybody. It was about being able to sleep with the woman you want, not the woman that you could sleep with. Not every opportunity was an opportunity, if you know what I'm saying. So I agree with the fellas that, to tell a man to suppress, a nature that is indicative is a little unrealistic, but to be selective can be a little more realistic. What you guys think? I could be way off. Wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't be the first time. My brother chimed in. He said, and the ladies don't come up to talk because they know I'm right. But we'll be on that chat selling lies, shooting shots. Absolutely. Shout out to Take Heed to the Message in the building. Salute to you, sis. I'll check out Take Heed to the Message on all social media platforms. I'm pushing your Rumble right now, sis, because I know that that's where, you know, a lot of rhythm is starting to pick up, and your content is amazing as usual, as it is throughout all platforms. And I appreciate you being in my circle, being a fellow content creator that I hold in a very high regard. So shout out to Take Heed to the Message. Y'all don't forget to put hashtag Cerebro in the chat. If you are on Mr.HeSaiD's page, you can put hashtag LIA in the chat. If you are on the Conscious Parenting with the Harris's page, and Nightbot will do the rest. But what do y'all think? What do you guys think so far about this conversation, about Ricky's conversation with the fellas, and how they were responding? It was not a trick, fellas. It was not a trick. Rick, should have warned them first, man. Should have warned them. It's not a trick, young fella. No puss. Would there be some puss to get? Everything is so subjective. What do you guys think about that now in 2024? Do you guys think that that is positive, negative, if it helps, if it hinders? I got a little bit of information. You guys know I don't like to come here just gossiping. I like to give a little bit of information. We regard it as edutainment. And y'all know I use artificial intelligence for this. So let's go ahead and share this screen. Mrs. is throwing me compliments. Thank you, Mrs. Shout out to you. She got some plans. She knows she's trying to go sing karaoke tonight. Shout out to Who Knows. Trying to hold down that number 2 spot tonight. So y'all send suggestions. She already got in mind a couple of songs you want to sing. But if y'all know something that y'all like, and don't forget to check out karaoke with us, because it's going to be popping online. The word's going to be right there for you to see. So come on up and be prepared to sing a song. You don't have to stay long. She said. But karaoke night is going to be lit. Everybody is going to be a star. Everybody except me. When I start singing,
Take his microphone and usher him out.
Facts.
Take his microphone.
Facts.
Just a minute.
Facts.
Just a minute. Take his microphone.
Damn.
Usher him out.
Damn, Pastor Jennings. Shout out to everybody pulling in. I see my people pulling in. Shout out to Time on the check. Dr. Kumbe on the check-in. Emma Lamb, get the peanut butter and jelly. Let's get ready to yam. Y'all know how we get down over here. Y'all see what it say. I am Legend 2. It's subjective. No Poosie. Shout out to my guy, Fatty. Shout out to the Untouchables. Doc, Time. If there was no Poosie to get, could you get some? If there was no Poosie to get, could you get some?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
I only have one question. Here I come. Here I come.
There was no pussy to get. Could pussy be got?
My nigga.
Time. Dr. Nakumbe, feel free to chime in the chat. Y'all hear the question on the floor. But right now, we got some information coming at us because, again, I was thinking about subjectivity, things being subjective. And like I said, there's a certain, knowledge of things being subjective that comes with me being an adult. I know that things depend on certain situations, that all individuals have been through experiences before they led up to standing in front of me. And I also understand that everything has to be kind of weighed out, but I wanted to know, what does that look like? Is that positive, negative? Is it advantageous, or is it something different? So what I typed in Chat GBT was the definition of subjective. That was the first thing that I typed in. And ChatGPT said back to me, it said, the term subjective refers to something based on or influenced by personal feelings, tastes, or opinions. I said, wait, that's what it's based on? That's what it's based on. Dr. Nakumbe checked in. He said, nope. However, laugh out loud. If the question is rooted in the conversation of penis discipline, then there are two answers. Context is everything. I hear you, Doc. I hear you. You know the link is available for you. You know you got the keys to the garage. So come right on in. And if anybody else feels like they want to have this conversation, feel free. But ChatGPT did the work for us. ChatGPT said the term subjective refers to something based on or influenced by personal feelings, taste, or opinion. It is often contrasted with objective, which pertains to things that are not influenced by personal feelings and are considered factual or unbiased. In essence, subjective statements or views are shaped by an individual's perspective and can vary greatly from one person to another. So far, so good. That gave me clarity. Doc checked in. He said, based on that definition, then the question of if there's no Poosie, then that is not subjective. I hear you, Doc. I hear you. This is the wildest thing. I don't know what's going on with these sound effects. All right, soundboard, chill out. So what I asked ChatGPT next was, ChatGPT, with your computer ass, give me 5 effects of speaking subjectively. 5 effects. ChatGPT came back with some information. These things say that they can be read aloud. See if
Speaking subjectively can have various effects depending on the context and the audience.
Can y'all
Here
hear
are
that?
5 potential effects. 1. Personal connection.
Can y'all hear that? Y'all let me know in the chat if y'all can hear that. Doc is in the building. What up, Doc?
How you doing? How's it going, sir? How are you?
All is well, sir. All is well. Subjectively, of course. Subjectively, of course.
Yeah. Shout out to those in the chat listening now and or on the replay. Shout out to the tribe, to you and the missus. Thank you for the opportunity to share in this space. Much appreciated.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I was kicking it with ChatGPT. ChatGPT and me was kicking it. It gave me some information, but what started me and ChatGPT to kicking it, Doc, was this.
There was no pussy to get. Could pussy be got?
If there was no pussy to get, could pussy be gotten?
Yes.
Is this one of those trick questions where you're asking, like, can I make a Fifi or some shit?
No.
Okay.
Doc, that sound like a trick question?
No, it didn't sound like a trick question.
I know Doc got more. I know it's more to that. I know it's more to that. Individualism, okay? Okay. Individualism, Doc got a call probably. Yes. Take heed to the message, say yes. Okay. Okay. You guys say hear it. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Doc is trying to get his connection together. So we're gonna let him do that. And while he does that, let's let ChatGPT finish enlightening. You back? You back now? There you go. There you go. You back? And you're gone again. ChatGPT. Let's get to it.
Speaking subjectively can have various effects depending on the context and the audience. Here are 5 potential effects. 1. Personal connection. Effect. Speaking subjectively can create a stronger personal connection with the audience. When you share your personal experiences, feelings, or opinions, listeners may feel more engaged and empathetic. Example. A speaker sharing their personal journey in overcoming challenges can inspire and resonate deeply with the audience.
What do you guys think so far? Thought that was interesting. You connect with an audience. When you speak subjectively, you connect with an audience, empathize, and they empathize with you. So I guess, that's one thing to consider. Doc is back and then he's gone. He's probably driving. So his connection is a little unstable. What do you guys think? What do you guys think?
Speaking subjectively can have various effects depending on the context and the audience. Here are 5 potential effects. 1. Personal connection. Effect. Speaking subjectively can create a stronger personal connection with the audience. When you share your personal experiences, feelings, or opinions, listeners may feel more engaged and empathetic. Example. A speaker sharing their personal journey in overcoming challenges can inspire and resonate deeply with the audience. 2. Bias and lack of objectivity. Effect. Subjective speech can introduce bias and reduce the perception of objectivity. This can be problematic in situations where impartiality is crucial, such as in news reporting or scientific discussions. Example. A journalist expressing personal opinions in a news report might lead to accusations of biased reporting.
Interesting. Because again, in the definition, it let us know that something can be subjective, but the contrast to that is something that is objective, and something subjective pertains to someone's feelings, taste, or opinion, while something objective pertains to things that are not influenced by personal feelings and are considered factual or unbiased. So although people may grow empathetic with you, they may identify with you, I'm not sure if that's the best outcome for, subjective speaking. Let's continue. What do you guys think?
Speaking subjectively can have various effects depending on the context and the audience. Here are 5 potential effects. 1. Personal connection. Effect. Speaking subjectively can create a stronger personal connection with the audience. When you share your personal experiences, feelings, or opinions, listeners may feel more engaged and empathetic. Example. A speaker sharing their personal journey in overcoming challenges can inspire and resonate deeply with the audience. 2. Bias and lack of objectivity. Effect. Subjective speech can introduce bias and reduce the perception of objectivity. This can be problematic in situations where impartiality is crucial, such as in news reporting or scientific discussions. Example: a journalist expressing personal opinions in a news report might lead to accusations of biased reporting. 3. Encouraging open dialogue. Effect. When people speak subjectively, it can encourage others to share their own perspectives, fostering open and diverse dialogue. This can be beneficial in group discussions or team settings. Example: in a team meeting, sharing subjective opinions can prompt colleagues to contribute their own viewpoints, leading to a richer discussion. 4. Misunderstanding and conflict. Effect. Subjective statements can sometimes lead to misunderstandings or conflicts, especially if others have differing opinions or interpretations. Example: in a debate, subjective opinions might clash, causing arguments if participants are not open to differing viewpoints.
I thought that was incredibly interesting. Speaking subjectively is not very therapeutic in some areas, may leave things open to interpretation, and again, kind of has a lot of loose and lost in translation things happening when, subjective speaking is present in some cases. In some cases. Doc, how you doing over there, Doc?
I think I'm doing better. Am I coming through clear?
You do. You sound good. You sound good. We got a couple of people checking in. Belgium is here. He said, Allo, Belgium. Hope all is well. Thank you for joining. Like button, subscribe, tell a friend. We just having a conversation today on Cerebro Saturday. Our Sean is here. Salute to the team. Hope all is well, sir. He said, but the internet has opened the world up. So some people will ask a useless question, believing it to be legitimate. If the answer is obvious, it should probably be rhetorical. Salute to our Sean checking. Bro. Hope all is well. Hope you're having a good weekend. Mr. said it is interesting. Interesting. All of the pleasantries are getting exchanged in the chat. And Doc, what say you, sir?
Just saying, yes, sir. The question, as I heard it, the snippet that I heard, it was a yes or a no. There's no need for my feelings to get involved. There's not a judgment question. It's either you have or have not. That is not a trick question. There's no need for subjectivity. If you take the entire conversation into consideration, maybe that's what that person was doing. Then looking for clarity. Maybe they're looking for clarity. What are you trying to ask them? I asked you what I was trying to ask. Okay. A lot of people do that. They want to try and find the angle. There's a question: boom or boom? Yes or no?
Indeed. So thinking about subjective speech, like I said, I was kicking it with ChatGPT, and it said some interesting things. One of the things that I got was misunderstandings and conflict, Doc. Effect. Subjective statements can sometimes lead to misunderstandings or conflicts, especially if others have different opinions or interpretations. And finally, number 5 was influence and persuasion. Subjective speech can be persuasive as it is often appeals to emotions and personal values. This can be effective in marketing, politics, or any context where influencing others is a goal. Each of these effects can be either positive or negative, depending on the context and how the subjective speech is received by the audience. That's the information that I got. Thought it was interesting. And again, it all sparked from this video, Doc. And I'm not sure if you were able to see it in its entirety. We're not going to go from the entirety, but y'all gonna get the entire question.
If there was no pussy to get, could pussy be gotten?
Yes.
Is this one of those strict questions where you're asking, like, can I make a fifi?
That's all right. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this, Doc. Let's try this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
I only have one question. Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
There was no pussy to get. Could pussy be got?
My nigga.
There was no pussy to get. Could pussy be got?
If there was no pussy to get, could pussy be gotten?
Yes.
Is this one of those strict questions where you're asking, like, can I make a fifi or some shit?
No.
Okay.
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand. Wax on, wax off.
There was no pussy to get. Could pussy be got?
If there was no pussy to get, could pussy be gotten?
Yes.
Is this one of those strict questions where you're asking, like, can I make a fifi or some shit?
No.
Okay.
If there was no pussy to be got, if there was no pussy to get, could pussy be got?
If there's no water to drink, would you have something to drink? No.
Do more nigga shit. Do more nigga shit. Do more nigga shit. Yeah. Let's bring the niggas in. Let's bring the niggas in.
There was no pussy to get. Could pussy be got?
If there was no pussy to get, could pussy be gotten?
Yes.
Is this one of those strict questions where you're asking, like, can I make a fifi or some shit?
No.
Okay.
If there was no pussy to be got, if there was no pussy to get, could pussy be got?
If there's no water to drink, would you have something to drink? No.
Yeah. If I'm answering honestly and like straight off what you're saying, yes, you can still get it.
How?
By force.
Yo. Shit. Wow. Son. Whew. My nigga. Wow. Really though, like, shit. Fuck. Shit is, wow. Fucking unbelievable.
Ever had a dreams that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
There.
Wow. There he is. Hey, Doc.
My
About
signal
force.
still acting up.
Yeah, you sound good still. Did you hear that? Did you hear all of that? That was crazy. He said no, you can't take pussy that don't exist by force.
Message.
You just can't. It's none to take. What say you, Doc?
You hear me now?
Yep, keep your eyes on the road, sir. Keep your eyes on the road. Shout out to Lost in Translation checking in. I like Take Heed's answer. She said, yeah. She said no. John, straight facts. Kanye couldn't even deny that. Either you take it by force or leave it alone. It's right. Time. What was he?
Something is wrong here.
Message.
Don't listen to him. How many circles does it take Lord Jesus. Pleasantries being exchanged. Lost in translation. If there was no pussy to get, could you get some pussy?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
I only have one question. Here I come. Here I come.
There was no pussy to get. Could pussy be got?
My nigga.
Y'all let me know. It's a simple question. Young man said he gonna take it by force. There's no pussy to get, sir. Thank you, Take Heed. She shared it on IG and YouTube. I appreciate you, sis. Just trying to walk down a conversation. And I think this is where we get when we speak so subjectively. Some things have to kind of have a foundation and a conversational concreteness to it. I could be wrong. You guys chime in, let me know. But that subjectiveness, that subjectivity is, I think, what had those guys walking on eggshells within the conversation. And he was just trying to, Daniel's son, wax on, wax off. It was a part of a conversation about dick discipline. And again, I would love to know, is this, required? Is it expected? Is it demanded? Like what part of the game does that fall in? Started me to think, and I had a conversation with ChatGPT. Always see videos, and I think all of them can be subjective, right? Because sometimes we question is ready to go. Is this subjective right here?
Some of you are so low down and dirty, you don't want to hear nothing good about one another. Whatever dirt you want to hear on somebody, tell me about that. So you become a slanderer, a defamer, a gossiper. You don't know whether what you're saying is the truth or a lie, but what the hell, it's funky and I like it, I'm gonna tell it anyway. Except when somebody find out some crap about you. Now you want everybody to keep that quiet. But in this world, you reap what you sow. And if that's the way you do one another, your turn is coming up. See how you like it.
Message.
People don't want to live righteous lives. People look down on the righteous. They say, oh, the word self-righteous. That's like a derogatory statement to call somebody self-righteous. That's like a derogatory statement. But when you look at the real statement, to be self-righteous, right, yourself is right. Myself wants to be right and wants to live right and wants to do right. That's self-righteousness. But in a society of liars and scandal and gossip and all of that, the one who's righteous is looked down upon. And the one who gossips is looked up to. The one who dresses according to the intent of his heart to help people, to heal people, to inspire others who are like him or her, that person doesn't get the airplay. That person's not called to award shows or whatever it is. That person's not there. That person doesn't get the accolades of those who are willing to scandal and gossip and talk about other people and diss other people and all of this type of stuff. So at the end of the day, you got to perform your communication. Not just communicate, but perform your communication. People don't want to live righteous lives.
What up, Doc? You back now. You look stationary, sir. You look stationary, sir. I like it. You come off mute, we'll be able to hear you. Say something to the people. Nope, you still muted. Still muted. Still muted. You got this, Doc. You got this. There he is.
All right, man.
The doctor is in the building.
That was challenging. My bad. Hello. My apologies to you and the audience.
Good.
And shout out to those in the chat, Sean, Time, and a few others. I mentioned a few others before, but just to shout out to those who are here. Your question that I left off, and my apologies for the signal, is the answer is the answer. The question is the question, straightforward question. It is, do you have or you do not have? Have or have not? Simple. But part of the reason that even in my answer in your chat was, it depends on the context. And even though we want to take out that word, it depends. So that question and that question alone, just that snippet alone, it is what it is a straight answer. If you add in the full conversation,
right? People
are either looking for clarity. You know, if I watch this show and I said, man, he played that loop about 900 times and I just look like an ass for 900 times. You better believe if you ask me a question that there's potential for you to play that clip 900 more times and make me look like a fool, I am going to want to clarify. And the person could say, it's a simple question. For you, it's a simple question, but I risk having someone play me 900 times like I'm an idiot or a fool. So Yep. When we're in this space, people are going to overthink. They're going to come up with different questions. They're going to start trying to figure stuff out and go for different angles. I think the person asking the question, or Ricky in this case, said the same question again. And once you hear the same question the second time or a third time, there's no need to try and go left or right. The question is the same question. There was no trick to it. Keep in mind, if you're talking about dick discipline, well, I already know two different industries, fields, populations that would answer that differently. I have first responders that no is not an option. No is not an option. If there's no pussy to be got, I'm going to find a way. That there's no such thing as it can't be got. That population will say, yes, you can get some. How? That's the better question. How? But just the base, if there's not, I have first responders who will absolutely make a way. I believe you know I work with folks who have poly relationships in BDSM. In the BDSM world, policy, you can't use your dick until I tell you to. You cannot use your vagina until I tell you to. And in fact, the rest of the world, you don't have a dick or a vagina. But when I want it, you have one. So there's no pussy to be gotten. Can you take it? Or if there's no pussy to be gotten,
Right. If it's none to get, can you get it?
Can you get it? Yes. Yeah. That pussy right there doesn't exist to the entire world. My submissive, my slave, my whatever you want to call it, it's like a covered mouth. But can I take it? Yes. So again, I know that conversation wasn't about BDSM or first survivors, first responders. So considering the conversation at that time, it was a simple question, simple answer. Be prepared where some people overthinking, going left, going right, want clarity, which context, you already know the context. You've been talking to me for the last 20 minutes. What you mean, what context? Anyway, that's my answer.
What was the question leading to? He was walking down a conversation about dick discipline.
Yeah.
And that was a method to his madness, so to speak. What are your thoughts on dick discipline, Doc, from a clinical standpoint and personal, if you wouldn't mind?
Yeah, personal. I'll give you that first. Even back in my wild days, we were afraid of HIV when it came on the scene. We was like, no. In fact, 1988, some people weren't even born yet, but 1988, I was what they call a peer specialist, peer educator. We would go to schools. I used to rap, have an HIV rap song. There's a guy named Peter. They call him Proud Pete, always alert, no time to sleep. And he's always having sex because he cannot do without it. And then he catches AIDS and doesn't even know about it. And then he passed it on and on and on. And now all the Proud Pete lovers are gone. There's a girl named Jane. They call her insane, shooting up drugs. Like it's the big game, sharing with the friends. And then one catches AIDS, so they all come to an end.
Damn.
So you just did. You had.
Hold on, Doc.
Yeah, right. Man,
Yes, indeed. That was education in there.
Right, and you had discipline. Now, at the same time, you could see a baby be born and watch that whole stretch and do all kind of things. Watch the mama poop herself at the same time, and don't talk about the placenta that comes out after. You swore to goodness you would never, ever, ever having sex again. Yet you still have 10 kids. So discipline in the moment. Discipline if you're not mindful, if you have lack of control, you're easily persuaded, no standards, aka shout out to the tribe. If you don't have those things, I think your discipline is weak. Your discipline is weak. Therefore, you have no discipline and you're reckless. I believe once you get to the point, not just because you can't get it, I mean because you choose to do it. You choose to protect it. You choose to put your sperm where you're going to put it or not. You choose. When you choose are in control, yes, I believe in dick discipline.
Okay.
Clinically, it's a different story, my friend. It's a different story.
Okay.
You know word cloud? One word, and there's like a whole bunch of words around it.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so let's use the word sex. What is sex? Let's do a word cloud. What comes with sex? Touch.
Right.
Right. If we were to do a word cloud, sex, touch, intimacy. What else? Connection.
Connection.
Being vulnerable. So already have like 5 words. We can stretch that thing out to about 10 words. Now define discipline for each one of those categories. Because dick goes where and is used for. So pending what your area of discipline is in, it will change the answer. It will change the answer. When you say dick discipline, do you mean connection with others or even my own self-soothing? Are we talking about dick discipline through the lens of religion, where you don't spill your stuff at all? You'd have to hold it in. It's sinful. Or are you talking about through the lens of someone who's therapeutically trying to condition themselves to not like this group anymore, but like this group anymore, and to intentionally self-soothe? Are you talking about through the lens of trying to get pregnant, but you can't get pregnant? I mean, it just goes on and on and on. So personally, you heard my answer. Clinically, it's not so cut and dry.
Okay. Understandable. Appreciate you sharing with us and giving us that amazing information. Everybody likes it in the chat. You got some hundreds bars from Arshawn, 100 from Take Heed. Time checked in. He said, wow, I don't take nothing that don't belong to me. There's a repercussion for actions for just taking. Absolutely. Doc, I'm going to share a video that I saw, and I want to know what you think. Shout out to everybody that is checking in the chat. We appreciate y'all. Let's bring this up.
Whilst that is technically one of the definitions of subjective, it's not one that really works or tells us anything. And some of the other different ways that subjective gets used is it can sometimes get confused between different types of subjective morality. So technically, all the non-cognitivist theories are forms of subjective morality, and that's quite different to moral subjectivism. When you're talking about non-cognitivist theories, we're talking about people who believe that there is no truth to moral statements. So if someone was to say it is wrong to steal, it is wrong to torture children for fun, they're saying there's no actual truth to that statement.
Is there a line of subjectivity, Doc? Is there, an area where things are absolutely subjective, but then there are some areas where maybe not? It's pretty cut and dry, or something different, sir?
That's a good question. That video, I don't know what the hell that guy said.
Yeah, I mean, when I heard it, I was thinking about, cognitive, the way we think,
right?
Versus, our morals, how we build our moral compass, so to speak. That sometimes subjective morality shows itself and takes over our thinking. And then we kind of use that moral compass and subjectivity, which is based on feeling, opinion, and not so much fact, but it kind of guides us and turns into our GPS. And again, that's
Right.
why I want to know, how does that look in everyday life and conversation, in romantic, professional, all of these different relationships that we have. you know Subjectivity does gain empathy. People can identify with you. Some people may even open up to you, but it leaves so much room for interpretation. A lot of things can be lost in translation. It's a lot of gray areas, and I don't know, that's why I wanted to have this conversation. I don't know, if that's therapeutic for a healthy relationship. Too much subjectivity.
No, nip that shit in the bud. If you have that much subjectivity in the relationship, create some agreements. Create some agreements. You can have all the which way you want in the conversation. When I hear it, this is what it means to me. Let's squeeze out all the ambiguity, all the confusion, all the what ifs. People be shooting flares all over the place trying to mess up the entire conversation. You don't know if you're going left or right. Stop, and stop. Here's an example in the relationship. Couple I'm working with right now. Married couple. Wife goes out. During the day, the place is the restaurant, African restaurant. At night, all bets are off. The wife, I don't know if you remember when I said a long time ago, pause, because I don't want to bounce around. Pause. If you remember a long time ago, there was a conversation about if a wife was in a car accident, she was cheating, would you continue to be her wife? Some people said she gets divorced. Some people said she gets pushed off a cliff. And I said the accident was the most important part of that conversation. Her cheating was the least of my concerns. And then what? If you know your wife or husband the way you should know them, you would already know she has a need, a strong desire for extra attention. All right, now let's go back to what I was saying. The wife with the couple that I was working with, when she goes out, she swears up and down she's not having sex, she's not cheating. The husband knows that he could be sitting right next to her, and there'll be one of those dudes at that club, not at a lounge, not at a patio out for tea, at a club at night, 2 a.m, that all them dudes, even though the husband's sitting right there, will still holler at her. And she's like, no. And see, it's subjective. Stop. That will run the relationship to the ground. Your husband says, I don't like it, I don't want it. And because you're hazy, not even drunk, I'm talking about because you're when you're shaking and she's getting her needs met, she's being validated. And so what her concern is you trying to take away my validation. I'm not having sex, but she doesn't understand that validation comes with the risk. So I'll land with this. If you have one of those relationships where it's subject, have to clear up some of those things. Here is our relationship agreement. Here is the rule around this certain topic, and subjectivity does not play a role. Other things, sure, it's subjective, but at the end of the day, what purpose does it serve? How does it function in our relationship? And if it doesn't, if it causes us more problems, then we have to look at addressing it a different way, still taking into account how you feel about it. And is your feelings based on a TikTok video that you just, how did we get married 10 years ago based on this agreement with each other? All of a sudden you move the goalposts, and now all of a sudden you're trying to follow these new ideologies because it's subjective. Cool, you can do that, but that comes with consequences. One of them being, I choose not to be in this relationship while you choose to be all over the place. I'll land there.
Understandable. Great info, Doc. Great info. Take Heed chimed in. Sean chimed in. He said, let's go,
nerds.
Yo, shout out to you, man. Appreciate you. Sean, take heed. chimed in. She said 3 choose in life. 3 choices in life, right, wrong, great. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Take heed. I think that's, where the expertise in life comes is mastering that gray area. I think there's so many gray areas. You want to be, a little charming, but not overbearing. You want to be, confident, but not an asshole. There's so many gray areas that you have to kind of learn how to live inside those gray areas. But, that
Who?
comes with sophistication. What do you think, Doc?
Well, whose gray area? Whose?
The world's. I mean, again, I think that's where the sweet spot is, that you can be, confident. And if you cross from that gray area over the threshold, now you become an asshole. You become condescending. You become overbearing, and all of the other things that they associate. So operating in those gray areas. When we meet a woman, think about when you go, when you meet someone, you want to be charming, but you don't want to come off like you're conceited. You want to be witty, but you don't want to come off like you know everything. You want to be comical, but you don't want to come off like you're a stand-up comedian or, a hack. So it's a lot of gray areas that, in my opinion, I think we as gentlemen have to learn how to operate in, because we have to gain confidence, gain someone's, what do you think, sir?
When I listen to what you just said in the spot on, it makes me think of when I see white people dance off beat. I mean, they really be moving and grooving and off beat, and how I relate that is. We can't have basic conversations. And if a person is coming off as abrasive because they're confident, but you have to consider both sides. What's your listener? What is their comprehension level? What is the tension level? How much can they do this? How much can they do that? It really puts a strain on basic communication, basic one-on-one communication. They have to follow so many rules, so many rules, so many rules. And if it's based on your rules, then they may differ from my rules, my whole culture. What if it doesn't even match my culture, and not ethnicity, just my culture? And it just makes it difficult. If I speak facts, but it bothers you and you feel triggered, oh, because I said what? I
Lord
mean,
have mercy.
right?
Don't trigger nobody over here, Doc.
Right.
Hold on now.
Man, and that feels. But now I can also not personalize it, right? I mean, I guess I can not personalize it, but I know when I'm working professionally, if I'm working with a person who used to smoke meth in the meth house, that's what they call a trap house, and I'm not saying this for theatrics, sir. If you take a paper towel at the end of the paper towel rack, there's that cardboard roll, and when you could take one of those and blow smoke up into someone's sphincter, and then come to treatment, and I say the word ass, it triggered me. So, and I just had this happen. I went on a date 3 weeks ago, a month ago, 3 weeks ago, and she was loving it. Oh, you're so confident and funny, but I don't do well. I have to be careful. I'm cursed. I'm blessed and I'm cursed. I'm blessed and I'm cursed. But when people are just talking BS, when I call them on it, I'm being too abrasive and well, not everyone knows it like you. You don't need to know it like me. Just know the truth a little bit, or know so you're right. It's a hell of a dance. You follow the world's way, society's way. I have in my profile, I don't go by all the social norms. Because if society can create their own norms, I create mine too. So anyway, it's tough. It's tough, my friend. It's tough.
I wouldn't disagree. Take heed. Laughing at us. Take heed. Don't laugh at us. Take heed. Take heed. That's too much. Shout out to T-Dog checking in. Appreciate you. He said, Casamillion raps are the best. Is that the rap?
Casamillion. Yeah.
That's the rap that you just did, right?
that was my own rap, but yeah, that was the style though. That was the style.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. Brothers and sisters and brothers, having unsafe sex with one another is dangerous. You need to use some protection. Catching the disease is a very harsh lesson. Oh man, yes, yeah. Oh. Man.
You see if you can bust out a tune.
Right.
Me and you do Sugar Hill Gang or something like that. What y'all think about that? I don't know. They kind of quiet out there, Doc.
It is. You know, because they don't know to go left or right.
Tough crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But Mr. HeSaiD, here's one of the challenges we have to consider. I would like us to consider.
Please.
You are a father. For those fathers out there raising their child, what happens when you are aiming for you have a goal for your family, but then influences kick in and they influence your partner, your children. You have these unnecessary fights now. I mean, you were already fighting against the potential harm to your family. You're already fighting that and teaching the kids to watch out for that. And now here's someone you trust, an industry you trust, an institution that you trust, and they change the game. You know, they change it. And then when you challenge it to have someone really believe what the new way is, what the institution said versus what you said, that's what starts to really mess with people. That whole term gaslighting is because wait. And I mean, we talk about standards. I know people who even in their religion, Islam, here it clearly says the woman's role. And then to have a woman say, yeah, I don't get down with that. No man is going to control me. Has it ever been about control? Absolutely. The man must have control of his home so he can lead it, direct it, protect it. Does it mean be reckless and harm you? Absolutely not. So how did it creep in? How did it creep in? And then that's what leads to, I know you're right. And I also say I'm right. And this says they're right. So maybe it's subjective. And if we follow that, what's it going to lead to? What is it going to lead to?
Salute to everybody pulling in. Lee Staten is in the building. Great Pill is pulling in. Salute to everybody. I appreciate y'all chilling out on a Saturday with me, and the doc is up here. And we are just having a conversation about subjectivity, about things being very subjective. And I played a video. If there was no Poosie to get, could you get it? And the question was posed by my brother Ricky. Shout out to Ricky Williams, TWT. Y'all go over.
Shout out.
Button to him. But he asked a question: if there was no Poosie to be got, could you get some? And the question, sounded very subjective by the end of the interaction. I thought it was cut and dry, but the gentleman had a different approach. And I think it's indicative of what we see in society. Our conversations, we're kind of lyrically walking on eggshells with everyone. Rick kind of alluded to politicians and being politically correct within conversation. And it's like that's everybody's shtick. And again, I just did a deep dive on, things being subjective and how subjective conversation can look in everyday life with Chat GBT, of course, and got some interesting information. Quincy is checking in. Salute to you, bro. I hope all is well. and Doc is checking in with us as well. And I just got a couple of videos that I wanted to talk about today. I saw something that was interesting in regards to subjectivity. Let's take a look at it, Doc.
It is a mental
It's not
disorder.
a
That's what I
mental
learned in
disorder.
school.
It's not
It
a
is a
mental
mental
disorder.
disorder.
Okay,
If you
so
think that you're a boy and you're actually a girl, you are suffering from a mental disorder, obviously, because you can't actually change your sex, obviously.
I know
You can
plenty
get,
of children now. I know
you
plenty
can
of
play
young,
dress up, but you can't
I know
change your
plenty of
sex.
young people and old people who are trans, right? And they are not pretending.
As you guys can see, that's Candace Owens having a conversation with Don Lemon. Let's take a look.
In your rhetoric, you're saying that it's a mental disorder.
It is a mental
It's
disorder.
not a
That's what I
mental
learned in
disorder.
school.
It's not
It
a
is
mental disorder. Okay,
If you
so
think that you're a boy and you're actually a girl, you are suffering from a mental disorder, obviously, because you can't actually change your sex, obviously.
I know
You can
plenty
get,
of children now. I know
you
plenty
can
of
play
young,
dress up, but you can't
I know
change your
plenty of
sex.
young people and old people who are trans, right? And they are not pretending.
Doc, we have a doctor in the house. Good. It is so good that we have a doctor. Doc, help us out.
Yes, sir.
Help us out, Doc. Help us out. What you heard so far, what do you think, sir?
All right. My pause is this conversation that we're having, or this question, or this piece right here, has caused me major problems in the last year. Major. I could easily say right now, "Oh, I'm triggered. It's a tough conversation."
Damn.
But I've had to learn, and it's taken me a bit of time. I mean, I'm talking about I was down. I'm down. I'm still recovering, to be honest.
Damn.
But part of my recovery.
Doc, I didn't know.
Yes, sir.
I didn't.
Oh no, no, no. Mm-hmm.
So sorry, sir.
No
I'm
worries,
so
no worries. I mean, from people coming at me now, what's crazy is on these YouTube streets, I've been very humanistic. I mean, right down the middle as much as possible. So to have someone say these things is like, huh? But anyway, we're not talking about me. I'm gonna answer the question. If you follow time, one could argue that Don is correct. Meaning, Webster created these words, and who's Webster? The words that we use today, who created them? And how do we know they're correct? Now, if you move forward with all the advancements in technology, medicine, there's certain things that haven't changed. Things that haven't changed, they've been trying to wipe them out. But with the advancements, one could say, yes, to be to transition is real. With the modern technology and medication, one can say 100 years from now, one would say the word apple started whenever, and one could say trans started whenever. Is a well-known phenomenon in medical and psychological. Before all of the advancements and the thrust forward, mental health said the person is confused because either you're one or the other. And every blue moon, there's someone who's born with both. And I say every blue moon because statistically, the numbers are so low. To now have someone say, I choose to change for whatever reason. Either they've always been this way inside internally, or they're taking advantage of the opportunities. This is not the same, but teeth. grandma, grandpa, great grandparents, and great grandparents, when they lost their teeth, that was it. But today, modern medicine and technology, I can have an entire grill and then argue that these are my teeth.
Damn.
And I mean, I can make a strong argument. You can say, but they're fake, they're false. These are my teeth. I got one drilled in, what they call an implant. I had them take them all out, my originals, and then put an entire tray in, or row, or tray. These are my teeth. But if we go back 100 years ago, so my whole point, and I apologize for being long-winded, if you take both into consideration, and I'm not talking about perhaps and maybe and I don't know, I'm saying the reality 100 years ago, this didn't seem to be the norm. Because we have the capabilities now, then it's going to be more and more the norm. I just ask that people understand the consequences that come with it. And I don't mean like deleting yourself and all that. I'm talking about when you have a child and 1 minute they see you as mom and next year they see you as dad, and they lost an entire type. They lost a mother because now they have two fathers. My argument is no longer if you can. My question is, did you look at the entire picture? So I'll land there. I'm not sure if I answered your question, what you were looking for, but that's what came to mind first.
Acceptable, Doc. Absolutely. We appreciate it. Let's get back to the conversation.
It's a mental disorder.
It is a mental disorder. That's what I learned in school.
It's not
It
a
is
mental disorder. Okay,
if you think that you're a boy and you're actually a girl, you are suffering from a mental disorder, obviously, because you can't.
Is it a mental disorder, Doc, or is
Right,
it?
but notice what she said. She said that's what I learned in school. When did she go to school? Because now they're changing. That's the tricky part right there. What she learned in whatever year is now changed. I went to elementary, junior high, high school, college, junior college, university, post grad, and not a single teacher ever said they was a pronoun for someone's identity. Never, never, ever. And now they have how many pronouns? I think it's question. Is it a mental disorder or not? There was a time that it was diagnosed as a mental disorder. Body dysphoria. I don't like my body.
Right.
I look in the mirror and I look fat. I used to weigh 300 pounds and now I'm down to 150. But when I look in the mirror, I still see the programming of 300 pounds. That's what I still see. My programming is still of 300 pounds. I don't like the way I look. And there was a time you kept what you have. Michael Jackson changed his nose. You know what they said, if you have the money, you can make some changes. Now is at the point where if you have the money or your diagnosis, it is now approved, or I can't think of another word, but now it's okay if you want to change. So since it's okay, the medical field is changing, then there's no longer a black and white, is it a mental disorder? They start adding other pieces to it. Adding other pieces. So if I'm delusional, then it's not about really me being trans or not. It's about me being delusional. See how that's a different question? If if I have self-hatred, if I'm depressed, if I'm these things, still has nothing to do with my body. I can still go through these changes. I just need to address the other stuff. Me wanting to be who I am is not a mental disorder, because that's not nice. That's not nice. That's labeling people, and that's wrong. So the DSM-5 is the holy grail. Your chat TP, what does chat say about DSM-5? DSM-5. That's the Bible of mental health diagnosis. What do they say about trans or body dysphoria?
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the chat as well. Did you see this one right here? I don't like this plastic surgery. Understandable. Some people use for enhancement purposes and some people use them for something a little bit different. But I can understand the sentiment. Absolutely. Doc, what say you, sir?
Mm-hmm. What part? I'm sorry. I thought you were looking up the chat. What's the question about the plastic surgery?
I was responding to the chat. I was responding to the chat. The chat said, I don't like this plastic surgery. And I said I can understand the sentiment. I can understand the sentiment.
Yeah. That, I mean, if you don't, again, if you have the money or the resources and stuff like that, you do it. Just know what comes with, just know the consequences that come with it. What parts can easily be put back and what parts can't. How much of it is permanent? Back in the day, we were worried about a tattoo, but now they have stuff that you can remove the tattoo. Back in the day, remember when Michael Jackson's nose fell off or something like that? And now they can make it to where it's a little bit more permanent. As I just mentioned, the teeth, remember they used to fall out, you blow the candle and the whole, and all your gums come out, and now they can make it more permanent. So I guess that's subjective. That's subjective based on how you feel, where you land, then sure. Objective would be, here's your body. If surgery was not an option, here we go. If surgery was not an option, how would you live with what you have? Period. Or question mark, period.
That's a good question. Great Pill chimed in as well. He said, that's a poor comparison or example. Losing weight, changing your nose is a huge difference than identifying one's self, sex as something else. To be someone totally different that goes with.
I like that. Let me ask you this, Great Pill.
Inside and out, name and etc. Thank you, Great Pill. Go ahead, Doc.
Yep. No, thank you, Great Pill. I love it. Let me ask you if you would consider this the same. I don't like my wide nose because it identifies me with darker people, darker complexion, people who wilding out. I want the thinner nose because I then get to. Is that not changing identity? What do you think?
I'm thinking about science. If archaeologists dug up bodies, they are not going to be able to differentiate this identity. They can only see science, skeleton, biology, two genders. I'm not sure about all of this interpretation and subjectiveness when it comes to just, male and female gender. We're going to get back to that conversation, but I did pull up ChatGPT to see what DSM-5 said about body dysmorphia disorder.
Right. Preoccupation with perceived flaws. I don't have to have a mental illness if I want to change something. I perceive it as my perception, subjective. My perception is I don't like it and I want to make a change. The reason that is in this book is because it's considered a very drastic change. It's not a tattoo. It's not just a wig. We're talking about removing parts or replacing parts. So the individual has a preoccupation. So they ruminate, they're stuck on it, impacts their ability to function, impact their ability to kind of think and move and operate in life. They may not go to work because of it. They may not go outside because of it. They may not even eat, which we have to have our daily nutrition. So it's impacting their ability to function. And at that point, because it's impacting their ability to function, think, act, and so on, it is now a disorder. They are disordered, out of order. The person is not out of order. The behavior, the ability to do X, Y, and Z is now disordered because of the impact of them being locked on to this preoccupation. Does that make sense?
So, I mean, it does, but it sounds like there's a certain baseline to behavior in order to assess this behavior as, abnormal, right?
Right. So
How
that,
would
yep.
you live? Great Pills chimed in and said, how would you live the same way people has been before the surgery? It was makeup, wigs, dressing self to look and appear as the part. Mrs. In, she said, there is no guarantee of successfully fulfilling the wants of someone. Absolutely.
Correct. And it's
That's all it.
horrible when I'm making those changes for someone else. It's not even about, I mean, there's a part of it for me, but then I want to change for someone else because of their acceptance. Like I believe the only way I'm going to be accepted is to make this major change. And there's no guarantee that's going to happen.
So let's listen to what ChatGPT got back for us, Doc. Here we go.
Repetitive
The
behaviors.
DSM-5, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 5th edition, provides specific criteria and details for diagnosing body dysmorphic disorder, BDD, also known as body dysmorphia. Here are the key points from the DSM-5. Diagnostic criteria for body dysmorphic disorder. 1. Preoccupation with perceived flaws. The individual has a preoccupation with one or more perceived defects or flaws in their physical appearance that are not observable or appear slight to others. 2. Repetitive behaviors or mental acts. At some point during the course of the disorder, the individual performs repetitive behaviors, e.g., mirror checking, excessive grooming, skin picking, reassurance seeking, or mental acts, e.g., comparing their appearance with that of others, in response to the appearance concerns. 3. Clinic.
How does that sound so far, Doc? Sounds
Yeah. So
on
again,
point?
notice being trans is not the disorder. Constantly picking or mental health, that's not the mental health disorder. The symptoms of what they identify, those are functional issues. Those are, skin picking to the point you have open wounds and all these different things where you're harming your body. And so that's where that argument is. Well, me being trans, meaning I just don't like what I have. I'm transitioning to something else. That doesn't have to mean I have a disorder. If I buy a Mercedes today, drive it for 6 months, I'm like, I really don't like this, switch to BMW, then switch it to something else and switch it to something else. Some people will say, make up your mind. Something is wrong with you. You can't just land on one thing. Other person might say, I'm just going until I want to be happy. But if I get in the car and I start doing things to myself, or I can't stop, I'm up all night, I can't sleep, is impacting my this, that, and that, according to what GT just said, then that's when it becomes disordered.
Mrs. checked in. She said 100% failure to successfully change your gender, no matter what you do to the outside exterior. Damn. Biology is biology. Once hormones are stripped, the natural process will continue. I'm just saying. Zach is here with us. Shout out to Zach checking in. Zach said, ask it about sickle cell. Let's see what time we have to get to our conversation. See if we can oblige, sir. ChatGPT is the live stream guest. I love it. Shout out to you, GP. I mean, I think this would help a lot of conversations. Again, not to take the information wholeheartedly and act like ChatGPT is quote unquote the Bible, but to help get a little more foundation, concrete information, and something well balanced into the conversation, especially when it's right here at our fingertips. I figure that me and the doc can use it to help us chop up.
Mm-hmm.
So, Doc,
Yes.
like it said about the behavior of excessive grooming, mirror checking, reassurance seeking. Do you find this, to be in line with this quote unquote disorder?
For that disorder, yes, because see that we're talking brain activity. We're talking about where I'm obsessing to a point where I can't necessarily say I can control it, especially when there's consequences involved. It's like being an alcoholic. I'm not comparing this to alcohol, but what I'm saying is, at what point do you at what point are you diagnosed with substance abuse disorder? When you are at the point where you can no longer control it. I can quit. We'll go for 30 days, and the person can't go 24 hours. I mean, without having some major breakdown, some major disorder. So far, what I'm hearing, yes, it matches these things. Constant mirror checking. I'm talking about in the middle of the day at work. I have to go look at myself in the mirror. I have to go look in the mirror every few minutes. That's not the disordered. But me saying I don't like my body, doesn't look like how I want it, that's not pathological. Meaning people will say that's not a brain disorder. But let me give one more. Narcissistic. Is it brain disorder or is it a learned coping strategy? So we're talking right now, what you just read, those are disorders and they serve a purpose. But to make it to get in this book, that we're reading from, it has to be it has to be pathological, if that makes sense. And we would say anyone who wants to change their body, that sounds pretty pathological to me. You're going to just uproot your body. We know cross-dressers have been around forever. They didn't change their body, they changed the outfit. Put some makeup on. So we would say, oh, then something must be wrong in their mind that they want to change their whole body. However, look at advancements in technology, look at advancements in medicine. We don't know if the cross-dressers would have done more if they had access to the technology and medicine. So if you speed up in time, this advancement allows people to make these changes. Doesn't necessarily mean that they are disordered.
Mrs. chimed in. She said, confusion and the lack of appreciation for body parts once it gets extreme to where one will consider harming themselves because of it. That's problematic indeed. Sadly, many people are affected by self-hatred. Damn. Great Pill chimed in. He said it would help, Mr. I'd prefer asking for 3 resources to back up claims and questions. Indeed, great. I will include that. Absolutely. And Sean said he got to run. Have a great one. We appreciate you, Sean. Have a good day. Be safe out there. Enjoy your Saturday. I'm going to get the missus out to defend her crown. She's second place currently in the karaoke competition. So she is going to see if she can hold it down tonight. Keep that number 2 spot or bump up to number 1. Hopefully we'll see. But let's get ChatGPT back here with us and see if we can pick up. We did number 2, repetitive behavior, that mirror checking and such. And let's see if it'll pick up from 3.
The DSM-5, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders.
Nah, it starts from the beginning. So let's go ahead and listen.
What if you double click
Diagnostic
on it?
Double click on it.
Double click on the spot where you want it to be.
Let's try. It highlights it. So let's.
The DSM-5, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 5th edition, provides specific criteria and details for diagnosing body dysmorphic disorder, BDD,
now started.
also known as body dysmorphia. Here are the key points from the DSM-5. Diagnostic criteria for body dysmorphic disorder. 1. Preoccupation with perceived flaws. The individual has a preoccupation with one or more perceived defects or flaws in their physical appearance that are not observable or appear slight to others. 2. Repetitive behaviors or mental acts. At some point during the course of the disorder, the individual performs repetitive behaviors, e.g., mirror checking, excessive grooming, skin picking, reassurance seeking, or mental acts, e.g., comparing their appearance with that of others, in response to the appearance concerns. 3. Clinically significant distress or impairment. The preoccupation causes clinically significant distress or impairment in social, occupational, or other important areas of functioning. 4. Not better explained by an eating disorder. The appearance preoccupation is not better explained by concerns with body fat or weight in an individual whose symptoms meet diagnostic criteria for an eating disorder. Specifiers. Muscle dysmorphia. This specifier is used when the individual is preoccupied with the idea that the body build is too small or insufficiently muscular. This specifier is applied even if the individual is preoccupied with other body areas, which is often the case. Insight. The DSM-5 specifies levels of insight regarding the disorder. The individual may have good or fair insight, recognizing that the beliefs about their appearance may not be true. Poor insight, thinking the beliefs are probably true, or absent insight, delusional beliefs, completely convinced that beliefs are true. Associated features. Individuals with BDD often engage in behaviors like excessive grooming, frequent mirror checking, or skin picking. They might avoid social situations and activities due to fear of judgment or criticism about their appearance. BDD can lead to significant impairment in daily functioning, including difficulties in relationships and work. Comorbidity. BDD often co-occurs with other mental health disorders, such as major depressive disorder, anxiety disorders, obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD, and eating disorders. The DSM-5 highlights that body dysmorphic disorder is more than just a concern about appearance. It is a serious mental health condition that can severely impact a person's quality of life.
What do you think, Doc? What do you think of all of that information?
It's one of those areas where I say you have to put the pieces of it together. Let's say you know the movie Mommy Dearest?
I do. We did a movie night on that. Movies with a meaning, and Mommy Dearest. Absolutely.
So if you have a person that grew up in that environment, for those listening in, we just say a mother who was in control, just everything had to be, you had to be in control of everything. That kid is now raised with, you don't make mistakes, you can't do this, you can't do that. If mama didn't give permission, they're just traumatized. So then if I get into a relationship and I operate out of that trauma, I'm clingy, I need to be next to you, I'll do anything you say, but I'm living recklessly, meaning I pass all the warnings and consequences because I'm so worried, I'm so scared, I can't function, I won't eat. If you say you weigh too much, not only will I not eat for that day, I won't eat for a month in the attempt to satisfy. And so, but that's not normal. And they're going through hunger pains and everything, and they can risk DEATH. So in the psychology world, we say that's a problem, right? And that's it should say in any world, but for us, that's a problem. So then when you say, well, I'm really fixed on my body, I don't like this part, I don't like that part, and I want to change the body or change identity. If it's more than just cosmetics, or if it's more just to match, because you say, well, I believe I've been a woman all my life, and I want to be a woman, and I want to match my physical being with my mental being. I believe I'm a woman, I want to be. But then when you are bypassing, going past, you're passing yield signs and stop signs, and you're taking incredible risk to make this change, and the change is not out of a healthy state of mind saying, yes, this is who I am, I'm conscious of what I'm doing, I'm conscious of the consequences. When it comes to a point where you are what they call disordered, then boom, it will match the mental health disorder or the definition of boom, boom, boom. Notice what they did. They added depression. They added, well, they didn't add it here, but anxiety, these other pieces that really add into it to make it the full mental disorder versus me just saying, I want to change, but I have no other elements of this disorder.
Appreciate the info, Doc. Appreciate the info, man. Let's get back to our conversation. This all started from a conversation that we were watching. Let's bring them back. I'm gonna get you out of here in a second, Doc. I just wanna get a little bit of clarity on this.
In your rhetoric, you're saying that it's a mental disorder.
It is a mental
It's not
disorder.
a
That's what I
mental
learned in
disorder.
school.
It's not
It
a
is
mental disorder. Okay,
If you
so
think that you're a boy and you're actually a girl, you are suffering from a mental disorder, obviously, because you can't actually change your sex, obviously.
I know
You can
plenty
get,
of children
you can get,
now. I know
you
plenty
can
of
play
young,
dress up, but you can't
I know
change your
plenty of
sex.
young people and old people who are trans, right? And they are not pretending, and it is not a mental disorder.
Well, it is
They
pretending because
know,
you will literally never be
and
able,
they
if you
know,
are a little boy, to grow up and have a
and
baby
their
because you're
parents
not
know.
you're
And
not a little
I would
girl.
hope that your child
So
would not grow up, or your children would not grow up, and then thinking that they're trans, and then their parents telling them the exact opposite.
I would
That would
tell
not.
them that they have a mental disorder.
Think about same-sex marriage.
It's a sin.
You think it's a sin, so you think
It
I'm
is a sin.
sinful.
God damn. They having a god damn.
It's a sin, so you think
It
I'm
is a
sinful.
sin. What's that?
You think I'm sinful because I'm married to a man.
Yeah.
You do.
Yes, you're sinning. You are in a sinful relationship. I don't believe.
God damn, Candace. Candace don't play. Doc.
You know, again, I look at timeline. I have to start looking at timelines. If I was raised with this is a sin and religion and so on and so on, I truly believe that, then I'm going to follow that. And then if someone goes outside of that, it's a sin. If I wasn't raised in that, and then there's that subjectivity, I don't know. Now it's going off my personal feeling. So one, I'm going by a law or a rule or institution. Or the other one, I'm going off based on my feeling. This guy says he dates another man or married to another man or another same gender loving. For him, we could say for all the news things that he's done, I've never heard him sound disordered. I never heard him sound like he was mentally ill. So why would we say he's all of a sudden mentally ill? Because he chose to marry the person that he married. Am I any more ill if I choose to marry someone that doesn't match the social norm or what other people want me to marry? So what he is saying about it not being a mental illness, remember, based on current standards where you break it down, that alone is not a mental illness. You have to add in those other criteria. Just like when I used to say, people just throw out the words, person is dysfunctional, delusional. You have to add in the criteria to make it really count. When it's just used as language, then yes, Candace is right. If she's just simply using language saying it's wrong, something must be wrong with you if you can't accept who you are. Okay, but for our clinical level, we say something must be wrong with you when you are starting to do things, self-injure, look in the mirror, anything that's you keep repeating, and it's interfering with your life. That's different than just saying, I like it, I'm going to do it, versus, boom, I'm so out of order. That's when it becomes a mental illness. Is a play on words, or not play on words. One person believes it is, based on the language, dysfunctional, delusional, crazy. The other person says, don't give me the label if you don't have the criteria to match it for me.
That makes sense. Okay. Great Pill chimed in again. He said, yes, bro, just in case. Most like to argue. Yeah, we like to have conversations over here. Kind of like your space as well, Great Pill. We kind of cut from the same kind of cloth, man. We We don't entertain that. They know Mrs. SheSaiD is over here, and she don't deal with they flip flopping.
Get the flip flop shit on me. Ever seen a motherfucker flip flop on you and shit like this in your face? Go crazy, be flipping and shit.
Yeah, she don't deal with that, and she don't deal with lying either. So they kind of stick
you know what you just said? She doesn't deal with lying, right?
facts.
So Candace Owens says, if I'm Candace Owens, I say, I mean, if I'm Don, I would say everyone lies. There isn't a person in this world who hasn't lied.
Yeah.
So how can we be so sensitive about other people lying when we ourselves lie? That's the Don angle. Go ahead, sir.
Absolutely. But it's the blatant, again, not only are you lying to me, you're lying to yourself and to reality. Again, your feelings are something that you are entitled to your feelings. You have the right to your feelings, but your feelings don't make it right.
Right. So see, we just did exactly because hey, you can lie all you want, but don't bring the BS this way. You can lie all you want, but you're lying to yourself, and what's that going to do for you? See how that's solid? That's there's no ambiguity. There's no confusion in what you just said. When I come across with this technical version, well, what is a lie? Is it manipulation? We all manipulate. We manipulate traffic to get to work in the morning. We lie to do this, and what about when Visa? Oh man. Oh man. Get out of here with your lying ass. I don't care what
Something is wrong here.
Right.
Doc says something is wrong here. All right, Doc, we got through our work for today. Great pills, karaoke champ. Nice. Need to come through and sing Gangsta's Paradise. Laugh out loud. Walk away with the title.
Brother man, it's an honor. Thank you. For those listening now live or the replay, thank you for allowing me to share in this space with you. Please do hit the like button, subscribe button if you haven't. Spread the word. Let's engage more in the conversation. It almost seemed like people ran when we want to have a serious conversation. Maybe it was too sensitive for some. Maybe it was too sensitive. I don't know. But people were busy. I know some people are also busy. Those who stayed and had the conversation, thank you. Peace and love to you all. Mr. and Mrs. and the
You're
tribe.
not lying to other people. You're lying to yourself. Absolutely appreciate you being here, Doc. You were in the middle of your pleasantries. I don't want to interrupt you.
Oh, no worries. Thank you, Lee. Lee Stan, thank you for your contribution. I'm just saying thanks for those who stayed, had the conversation, for chiming in. These are the type of conversations we want to have. The people that run away from them, right? Then they'll come back and tell you were being mean because they only caught the one piece of it. You were being mean.
It's all good. All good. That happens, man. We take it. But how was your week? How are you, sir? How's work? How's the family? How was that date last week? Generally speaking.
Yeah, right. Everything is well. The date won't happen again. I have to take ownership on this one. I take ownership on this one. I wasn't religious enough.
Okay.
She wants someone, she said from the beginning, someone was going to be going to church. And then I got in my head, why do you search for someone to go in the church, but you're searching outside the church?
For someone.
Ooh, that's another. Anyway, it didn't serve me well to have that conversation because to me, church was just really like a replacement for getting their needs met and being validated. And then they want me to subscribe to it so they can feel like they get the cake and ice cream, blah, 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 blah. So it didn't work. But then I have to question, dude, you'll never have 100% of what you want. So what's the worst with getting to the church? I might have blown a good opportunity. She was pretty solid, and life in general is pretty good. Like I said, I'm getting stronger and stronger every day. I have to meter my social media time and all that energy. I have to meter as my brain is repairing. And other than that, life is good.
Okay.
How about yourself?
Everything is good. Everything is good. You know how we doing, man. Summertime, enjoying Madison, being in Florida, but missing her at the same time. But we getting a lot of work on our side. So, it's therapeutic for all of us. But we'll see her soon in September. I'm going to go down for a little bit take some time and relax in Florida for a little bit, and everything else is regular. We gearing up for the book bag drive
Book
and
bag
just
drive. Yes.
before back to school and getting, these little people the things that they need for them to be amazing scholars. So that's the trajectory we're on now. The missus got karaoke championship to try to hold down tonight.
Nice. Hey, when is that drive?
August 20. Hold on, I got it on the on the group
Sorry,
page.
weekend in August?
I believe so.
I know there's quite a few YouTubers live out there on the East Coast. I mean, I hope people come out and help and support.
Absolutely. Even if they need a bag for the little one, feel to come through. And also our sister April Watts is doing her drive on August 24th, back to school. I'm going to share these pictures real quick because it's a lot of people that care about the community, and we want to get their information out and let the people know that there are people out here doing the groundwork. We had the opportunity to meet Dr. Nakumbe last year at the last drive. That was awesome to see you.
It was amazing.
That was really, really good time to spend. So
Check
let's
out the
go.
Facebook page. All right. Thank you, Mrs. Check out the Facebook page, everyone, about the book drive. It was amazing. I got to meet Mr. and Mrs. SheSaiD and the community. Met the folks, the parents, the kids. I got to see you living what you're talking as far as parenting, caring for. The community came together. There was food, laughter, talk, conversation. It was beautiful to see. People came and got their backpacks. It was
Somebody
just
did some magic tricks.
all right, yeah, a little trick or two. Little trick or two.
It was nice.
And brought the little ones with me, and they had a blast. And so thank you again for, and I forget the organization that put it on and some of the people that collaborated. Plenty of people who participated in collaboration to make it work, even if it was just bringing the food. And another person was responsible for creating the soft drinks. And another person, you, sir, were helping people learn to tie ties. My little shorty.
Absolutely.
That's another whole conversation. Do I get jealous because a man taught my little man how to tie a tie? Ooh, community living. I cannot appreciate you enough for being willing to teach others a skill set that will be a lifetime skill set.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And this year, Doc, is going to be August 18th at Renaissance Park. So you guys come on out if you are in the area nearby Run Road, Essex, Maryland, 99 Stemmers Run Road in Essex, Maryland, 21221. August 18th from 1 to 4. Come on out. We will be there. Community is at hand. Shout out to United Community Network, to Operation Impact, to everybody that rocks with us and is down with these kids and down for the cause of, like I said, just getting them the things that they need to be amazing scholars. One less thing for them to worry about so that they can concentrate on their scholastic journey. So shout out to y'all. Doc.
All right, boss.
Considerations, sir.
Well, thanks again for having the conversation. Subjectivity, if you have it or you don't have it, folks. Folks, listen here, folks. Learn.
Message.
learn the art of communication. Learn the art and the skill of communication. Learn to articulate where you stand on something. I also agree that I should be able to clarify and ask, but if the conversation is pretty solid and you're searching in your mind for clarification, are you answering the question at hand, or are you shooting flares and wanting to shift and move the goalposts and then make it a totally different question altogether? That's when you come off disingenuous. You come off disingenuous if you're doing that. The question is if, have, don't. You can ask for what context are we in, but if, have, don't. So if there's no Poosie, then there is no Poosie.
It is none. I saw a Spike Lee movie. It was none. It was none.
Right.
go and take it, sir. No, they not. No, it's no
There's
pussy to
nothing
get.
to take.
Right, it's none. It's none to get. It's none to get. But shout out to my gentleman for having a conversation again. We got to be a little more open and honest with each other. It's not a trap, fellas. We all are in this together. We all are.
Right.
Although they say we're very different, and I think this lends to the subjectivity as well. You know, everybody's different, and relationships are different, and I agree. I agree being 50 years old, absolutely. But I believe that I love my mom. I do believe I want my kids to grow up to be old. I don't want to bury my children. I do believe that, right and wrong is pretty clear cut in regards to our families, in regards to our community. There are some
Mm-hmm.
things that are subjective in the world in regards to right or wrong, but in regards to our family, in regards to our community, is what I'm speaking to right now specifically. So, um, I'm all for subjectivity. Again, living to be 50 years old, life comes with a lot of subjectivity, and I definitely take it as it comes. But I do understand again that you have the right to your feelings, but your feelings don't make you right. So reality is something we all have to share, and we have to consider that and govern ourselves accordingly. Doc, it's always a pleasure to hang out with you, man. Always a pleasure to hang out with you. Shout out to the chat.
Yes. Team Fatty's in the house. What's up, Team Fatty? Good to see you.
Fatty in the building. Fatty, what you doing here? Brother, keep doing what you do because it's people watching you and you are a inspiration. So, y'all know how I
Absolutely.
over here, man. Do something good for somebody other than yourself because that's when real character shines through. The missus will be here tomorrow. So y'all gonna have to get this work. Shame is needed and necessary for a community to thrive.
He said, "May I leave a question with you? May I leave a question with you?"
You sure could, sir.
Yes. How do we coexist? How do we coexist? Different parts of the world see the same question differently, pending the culture we're in. The word bitch in my industry, there are lawyers and prosecutors who say you are shaming, you are women objectifying, so on and so on. But yet, I can go in certain communities and be like, "Who are you?" I'm his bitch. Oh, but I thought he was objectifying you. I am his bitch. So pending the culture, not just ethnicity, pending the culture, there's a totally different view on it. Totally different. South believes in spanking, North they say not, or we do, but one says yes, one says no. Both can be correct, but when we start to get to the same, if we're going towards the same goal, you can't have multiple things for the same goal. You do like this, different perspective, different way raised, and we come together for one. And once we get to this point, subjectivity is out the window.
Facts. I agree wholeheartedly, Doc. I agree wholeheartedly. And again, with that destination, those routes that we take can be a little different. I think you can come from the west, I can come from the east, but as long as we arrive at the same destination, I think all is well. All's well
Right.
that ends.
Absolutely.
So in regards to your question, shaming is absolutely something that has to be considered. And I believe that's why I word and behave as such. I think shame and shaming are completely different. We try not to do a lot of shaming. Sometimes it's required. Some people are very, very unconscious. So in order to wake them up, it has to be kind of a shock to the system, kind of like
Right.
when you have a heart attack and they give you that clear, they hit you with that
Yep.
defibrillator.
Yep.
So, but I believe shame, just the consciousness of wrong and foolish behavior, is what needs to be awakened. Not to say that anyone's attacking or belittling, but to point out and to address a situation so that when we come in contact the next time, or when you come in contact with this same experience or situation, your behavior can be different to get you a more favorable outcome. But that's only
Yes.
if you're not with the outcomes that you're getting. If you're in line with the outcomes that you're getting versus your behavior, continue, please.
Right.
By all, what say you, sir?
Exactly. Until the pain of our consequences outweighs the joy of the behavior, we'll continue to do the foolish thing. Sometimes hitting that sensitivity, hitting that stimuli might be the thing that wakes you up. Meanwhile, that does not mean you haven't been doing shameful shit. So the reality is, I might get into my feelings because I don't like the way it feels. In fact, I feel guilty because of it. And because I don't want you to blast me with it, I blast you instead. And I say, you are shaming me. There's a way of holding me accountable. Wait, accountability might feel like shaming. Damn. So my deflection is to say, don't shame me. Now, there is shaming that hurts a person beyond. I can almost say, no, I won't almost. As I was listening to the show at the beginning, I was like, damn, man, does he have it on loop? Is it put? Is it put? Is it put? Is it put? He don't know the answer. He don't know. I was like, damn, is this shaming the person? At the same time, if I think about the ridiculousness of, dude, it was a simple question. Why are you, the ridiculousness of that equals, it matches the loop. Did y'all hear this? Wait, let me play it again. Click. Did y'all hear this? Let me play it again. The ridiculousness of this, because people will say, well, it did, maybe he needed, boom, again. Got it. Shame on me, foolish me. I got it. But I have to say, sir, only those who have integrity, those who are strong enough, those who are bold enough to take ownership, to look themselves in the mirror and say, it was some shameful shit, or it wasn't, but I see how it is. And now I would take that into perspective and I'll work on it for next time.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Doc. And Monsanto deserves shame. There's times I look at, only seeds that produce one crop. Shame.
Right.
Educational system, the jail system, like some things are shameful. And it has to be pointed out and acknowledged again so that we govern ourselves accordingly. We don't fall subject. If we know the jail system is so egregious, don't throw yourself at the mercy of the court telling them not to put you in jail. Because, again, it's that certain consciousness that I think we as people have to accept and adopt. And if we don't have the courage to say, listen, that that's not the way we behave as gentlemen, as men in the barbershop, in the times that you were rapping from, we could never be that subjective in the barbershop. Could you imagine me telling the fellas in the barbershop, listen, man, y'all are not being, recognizing my triggers, and you guys are not speaking as subjective as we could be right now. And all they were trying to do was help me become a better man. And again, some medicine was hard to swallow. Some was cod liver oil. I'm not gonna lie, it was fish oil, but it made me better. And I understand that, not everybody is going to gravitate to a said message. Not everybody wants the same outcome. But I'm saying, for the people that are on a desert island, for the people that are on, straddling on the fence, if I can be, the voice of reason that can present one video clip, one subject, one conversation with Doc, one conversation with another amazing content creator, I'm doing my job. So You know, I'm going to continue to sit up here and bring my thoughts and put myself out there to the point where if somebody, you know, wants to bring information that may make me see things differently, I am open and willing to accept that. But I'm also going to stand on a foundation and give, you know, my synopsis or inference or opinion of a said subject. And then maybe we can pull back, we can have a further conversation to give us better clarity or better understanding. And Doc, you know, you one of those people that I find that, you know, that gray area where we don't have to agree all the time, but we do have a certain foundation of commonality. We call it
Right.
alikes in Percent Nation. Like you hang with your alikes. You really don't spend a lot of time with people that are not, you know, vibrationally,
Right.
educationally, you know, spiritually and morally kind of on the same page in general, not specifically, but in general. What say you, sir? Shout out to TC Top Cat in the building.
TC Top Cat, what's up? 68.
The Untouchable Gang is loading.
Nice,
Appreciate
nice.
So what
I'll
say
say
you,
this:
Doc?
1,000,000,000% what you said. Here's the deal. Even when we talk today, I said, well, I have to put it in this perspective. Here's a clinical lens, but personally, and some people try to mix the two and make it the way they want it to be. But that's not the right. I could be right and still be wrong. So let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck about where are we going with this? That was convenience and that was comfort. Get out your ass. That was convenience and that was comfort. We're talking about this. So yeah, we know about this clinical. We know about that. Wonderful for that. For that. But is that what you're living by? Put that in its proper context at the proper time. Right now, we're talking about this. And based on the way you were doing and what was going on, that was what it was. I called you out on it. I trust that you are able to handle the truth. Since you're talking about all this truth stuff, are you able to handle it? So is it really the issue that you're trying to make it all muddy about, or is it the reality that you can't handle the truth and you don't want no one to call you on it? If that's the case, let's have that conversation instead of spilling this bullshit out there and impacting other people and influencing other people with some BS. That's why the Sunday show, shame, stops the train. Stop the train. Get off or get on, stomp the train, and the BS that you put out there in the world, we will call you on it. I beg, I implore Mr. and Mrs. He said not to stop doing what you're doing. If you do, if you cave, if the Ricky Williams cave, if the all the folks, Team Fat, I've heard your show plenty of times. If you cave, if the people who do what you do, if they cave, we are in trouble. Please keep doing what you do. I'll do my job to keep it in perspective. A clinical lens, a this lens, a trauma lens, but it all comes back to now, boom.
Facts. Doc, I appreciate you, man. Always a pleasure. You know how we do it over here. No conscious parenting and love and opinions. Everything else is he said, he said. From me, from the Doc, from the missus, from Red Lipstick Vibes, where the vibe is always positive, and from her gang, them goddamn untouchable. Boy, y'all better watch out for them.
Go to Red Lipstick Vibes, the OG in the motherfucking house. Go to Mr.HeSaiD. I don't see his wife here. Go to Red Lipstick Vibes, the OG in the motherfucking house. Go to Mr.HeSaiD. I don't see his wife here, but show so to Mr. and Mistress He Said and Mistress She Said. You know what I'm saying? Big up yourself, large up yourself. Black love, YouTube love, and all of that shit, all of that lovey-dovey shit.
Yeah, yeah, Red Lipstick Vibes. Take heed. Definitely, I need to get my list back up so I can make sure I identify the right people. But you know, I know that I know of the right people. So if I didn't call your name, no disrespect. You know, my love is for all those who are doing it.
Yes, yes, indeed. Again, from me, from Doc, from the crew, from the gang, we are protected. Peace to the gods and the earths. Y'all get ready for Mr. SheSaiD tonight, holding down this second place. Pump herself up to first, or is she gonna stay right at second? I don't think she's gonna go down to third. That's not her style, but we will see. Until tomorrow, man, y'all be good. Do something good for somebody other than yourself. That's when real character shines through.